All right, so now we get to work with synthetic division. Now, one thing that's really nice about synthetic division is it kind of makes everything a little bit neater. Some people find it easier, some people find it harder. If you do not like synthetic division, or right now at this point, you are really comfortable with long division, then don't even watch this. Use long division, always. Because synthetic division you can only use when your factors are in a form of 1x plus or minus a number here. That's the only time you can use it. And all the time you're not going to be given these problems. Okay, and on your quiz, on your test, whatever, I'm not going to say divide using this method. I'm just going to say divide. So synthetic division, what it is, how it's set up. So let me set this up long division wise. Okay, x plus 1, and then 3x cubed minus 4x squared plus 2x minus 1. That's long division. Now if I use synthetic division, what happens? This goes to a -1 because the 0 of this is actually -1, so that's where we use the 0. So if I solve this, x plus 1, so set that factor equal to 0 and solve it, I get x equals -1, so that's what goes here, the 0. And then the only thing that happens is we bring all of our coefficients down. So 3, -4, 2, and -1. And then I draw a line here, and then this is where it kind of gets, I guess, a little bit confusing, but the nice part is we don't have to mess with all of these variables and trying to figure out what has to multiply to get this number up here. Okay, it's just a matter of this first number always gets brought down. No matter what it is, the leading coefficient gets brought down. So then you have to take 3 times -1. Okay, 3 times -1 is -3, so that goes here. And then here we add. So -4 plus -3 is -7. And then again, we do, now this number times our 0, so it's going to be -7 times -1, that's +7. And 2 plus 7 is 9. So then we do 9 times -1, and 9 times -1 is -9, and -1 plus -9 is -10. Okay, so now it's a matter of figuring out what is my actual solution there then. And you actually get your solution by working backwards. This column, this last column here, is always your remainder column. Oh, I spelled it wrong. But that's always your remainder column. And then, you know how you want to write in standard form, you want to write the expression in descending order? Well, this is basically going up ascendingly. So this is our constant term, our no x term. This would be our x term, or b, I should say. And then this would be my x squared, the coefficient for my x squared. So 3x cubed minus 4x squared plus 2x minus 1 divided by x plus 1 is x squared minus 3x squared minus 7x, the 3x squared minus 7x plus 9, and then remainder -10. And so that's your quotient here. Okay, let's try example 8 here. Like I said, I'm going to get you started. I'm actually going to do all of the division, and then I want you to try to write the quotient. So if I set it up, 1 is going to be my 0 here, because x minus 1 equals 0, solve, add 1, you get 1. And then my coefficients, that's going to be a 1, so I'm bringing 1, and then 4, and then 1, and -6. Remember, no matter what this is, it comes straight down. 1 times 1 is 1, 4 plus 1 is 5, 1 times 5 is 5, 1 plus 5 is 6, 6 times 1 is 6, -6 plus 6 is 0. remainder of 0. So this is the first time I think we've had a remainder of 0, unless example, whatever it is, 6 works out to be a factor or a remainder of 0. So I can tell by this that x minus 1 is a factor of this expression because a remainder is 0. Now I want you to try to figure out what the quotient is. Remember, these are your coefficients. You have your constant term, and then it goes up ascendingly. So you have your remainder, your constant, your linear, your quadratic, and if there were more terms, it would keep going up. Your cubic, your quartic, your quintic, etc. So make sure you bring that in, and I will check that tomorrow.